and welcome back to the channel Meet CISO. Hope you all are doing great, having a wonderful time. Today, we thought that we are having a multiple videos, but that is all on slides, PPTs, and presentations, we can say. So let's go a bit of a practical and show the viewers what actually the document look like. So we thought to have a discussion on information security policy. So the policy document shows why. So any policy document, there can be multiple policy document into the organization, and all the policy documents show why. So today we'll be going to discuss what should be the contents in the policy document and how you can create a good policy document. Any document, whether it is a process or policy document or any other document, should have this table in which the version number should be mentioned, who has updated it, when is that updated, who has approved it. It can be a person or a department, and then when that approval is done and what changes has been done. Let's say this is version 0.1, then we can go for 0.2 version and it's updated by, let's say, Tej. Okay, and updated date is, let's say, 28 January, or let's say, yeah, so 28 Jan 2026, and then the approved by is Raj, and then it's on Jan 31st, let's say, 2026. Yeah, and then updated under updated location details, let's say. Yeah, so it can be anything, whatever update you have done, you can show it. This is just for the example, I'm showing it to you. Let's go ahead and let's see the document. So then comes the content. This is much more important. It's overview of what all are the headings that is covered. This all headings we are going to see very high level to keep the video not very long. Yeah, so it should be having introduction, purpose, scope, objective, ownership, responsibility. What are the exceptions? What are the when is the document reviewed? What are the review of the document periods? How do we do the policy compliance check, and what's the organization structure, and what all are the roles and responsibilities? We'll see this in very high level. Let me scroll down so I can jump to the main content. So this gives the introduction of the policy document, what information security policy will look like. So this is kind of a brief introduction of the policy document. Then comes the purpose, why we are creating the policy. Yeah, the purpose of the policy is to establish a framework to continuously identify, monitor, and mitigate the impact of the risk. So this is an information security policy. So it will definitely be talking about the mitigation of the risk and ensuring the safety of the company, and what how we will be achieving confidentiality, integrity, or availability. That will be the main purpose of the document. So that's what the purpose of this document is. What will be in the scope will be in terms of people, process, or technology. Yeah, who will be in scope for adhering these policies. Yeah, so this is for employees, contractors, partners, interns, trainees. So any third service provider, this all will be in scope for this company, for this policy which is created here. Objective, the objective of the information security policy is is an approach to managing information risks and directives for the protection. So the end goal of any information security will be always to protect the assets, right? So that's the objective that's mentioned here. Ownership, who will be the owner of this particular policy. The owner is the ultimate responsible or the accountable person, and that's v- very high level or the topmost management. So here it is mentioned board of directors. Next is responsibility. So accountable person, below the accountable person comes the responsible person who will be adhering to this particular um, policy document So to, if you see here, therefore IRMD, here in this case Information Risk Management Department, will be the owner of this policy particular. Yeah. And the implementation responsibility is with IT security department or IT department. So they will be implementing this policy, and owner will be IRMD. So then exceptions is must needed when you're creating the policy document. You need to show what all are the exceptions for this particular policy. So you can mention here, or you can mention in below appendix or anywhere. Um, and after that, the acronyms. This is again must, because every company has different acronyms. The person, the auditor or the outsider who is reading this document will get confused with the if there are a lot of acronyms, they will get jumbled. So in that case, you have to mention what are the acronyms and what is the meaning. Even you can add definition if you want. When this document will be reviewed, again this is very must. The it should be or depend on the criticality of the document, quarterly, half yearly or yearly. There should not be any document which should be reviewed after a year. So average it should be year. Any document, policy document or process document, it should be reviewed yearly. Yeah. Then policy compliance check, compliance review of as policy should be carried out by internal and external auditor on a period basis. So who will be doing the compliance check? So that will be the auditor. So ideally what happens is, any company, if they goes for any of the audit, first they prepare everything. Then before going to the external auditor, they might do the internal audit. They might do the internal audit by internal staff itself, or by some third party which will be doing the internal audit for this particular company. Once they do the audit, they give the outcomes. Basis of the rectification suggested by the internal auditor, the audit is conducted, and the changes are made, and on the basis of that the company goes for the external audit or the final audit, and they get their policy compliant as per the framework uh, they are adhering to. And this is the governance, how this particular policy will be governed. After that, who will be the what will be the management responsibility? So it will be the to approve the policies, ownership of the implementation, ownership of the established necessary organizational process. All of this will be the management responsibility. What will be the organization structure? So this is how the hierarchy is. This is not the must required, but you can put this, either you can put this in the main policy, but here it is put on the basis of security point of view. If you see here, risk officer, information security officer, asset custodian, security operations. So this hierarchy is prepared here and put here on the basis of the information security policy document. So this will be the whole structure is divided into three parts: executive management, governance, and implementer. Implementer is the one who will be doing the actual implementation of the policies, will be adhering to the policies. Now governance is the person or the team who is checking whether the implementation is done correctly, whether everything is followed correctly or not. And the executive management is the accountable or ultimate responsible for the policy which is uh, created. And this is the roles and responsibilities as per the hierarchy that has been listed above. So this is the hierarchy. So this is the roles and responsibilities. After going through this is after going through this roles and responsibilities, people do understand, okay, this is what the particular person or the team will be doing their job into. So I'm not going into the details of this now. See, after this, see, in our previous video, we have talked about the policies, procedures, and guidelines. You want to watch this video, click on the I button at the top right, and you will get to see what is the difference and what kind of documents are this. Before that, I'll just scroll up. I missed one thing. We also have created the video on difference between the asset owner and business head and CISO. So what all are the data roles that we have that is there? What is the difference between custodian and let's say asset owner, right? Business head. So we have created that video also. Click on the I button at the top right to see that roles also, and what's the difference, what all are the jobs. And this is the sub policies, we can say, in falling under information security policies. So asset management policy, risk management process, data classification policy, acceptable IT usage. So this will be as per the organization size. You can either create a separate policy document for this, or you can have the uh, part in this particular document itself in the main policy. If your organization is huge, and if as per your sector, if you think data classification is much more uh, important for you, you can create a separate data classification policy document and just attach a link here, or you can just have a part of data classification policy mentioned inside this main information security policy document. So these are the separate policy documents which you can create for yourself or for your organization. Acceptable IT usage policy, access control policy, email security policy, internet and intranet security policy, right? Change management. There are many policies that runs as per the need of the framework or the vision of the company. So if you see here, it's many policies in the list. I'm not going through all. This is security awareness. This is must requirement for many of the banking domains and for many of the frameworks. This is really uh, auditors might ask you that whether the trainings are done on whether the staff is aware about the security, and show us the proof that the trainings are done. So we have to show them everything, that how often we do the training, how people are getting informed about the security initiatives of the company. Yeah. And then the data security policy, again, remote access policy. If you have the workers logging into the infrastructure or application from the remote, physical and environmental, desktop security guidelines, patch management process. So this is all the documents, the layered it into. You can see my other video which is created on why what all kind of documents mean, what is inside this particular document, database security process. So this is how the document looks like. I'm not going into much detail. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share this video to your friends, family, your colleagues, and subscribe to this channel, hit like. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.